and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk about the new work, changes, and ongoing care that is in the Hampton VA Medical Center. It is right in the heart, right off downtown, but a lot of people don't go there and don't know about how many people they serve and what great care they offer our veterans. My guests are Dr. Priscilla Hankins and Dr. Eric Wiebke. Welcome.
Okay.
And wow, you guys are growing because the number of veterans are growing and the number of people who need care are growing pretty quickly, right?
Yes. So first of all, Robin, thank you for having us on the program so that we can share some of the great things we're doing at the Hampton VA Medical Center. And I'll just start off by saying that we have been very busy. We are growing quite a bit. In the past 5 years, we've grown about 27% in terms of the veterans that we serve. And as
I bet your budget didn't grow 27%, did it?
Well, actually, we have been fortunate to have some budgetary increases to bring on staff and resources.
That's great.
But that's a process that's taken place over time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, but I interrupted you. So 27% in 5 years. We have a lot of people serving, you know, the however you call them, wars, conflicts, service in Iraq and Afghanistan have been going on for a very long time now. And you have veterans from other conflicts who are needing more care, growing older, as we all do.
That is correct. And what we have found is as the face of our veteran population has changed, we have had to change to keep up with those growing needs of the veteran. So this is a population that's very diverse, including now women, younger veterans, veterans who are from different war eras, and so we've had to adjust to keep up with those different needs, and you'll hear more about that, you know, as we talk further.
Well, I do think, you know, probably in people's minds you think of the World War II vets, and there aren't a whole lot of them left, but they were probably a big part of your population for a very long time, and now you do have, you know, Vietnam era vets, there's Korean vets, and more recent Gulf War folks. So if I were to even say what's a typical patient or what's your, you know, what kind of services do you do the most, it's probably too diverse to even answer that, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
But you provide mental health services. There's a lot of that needed as well. But let's talk for a minute about surgery, because you guys are doing some cutting-edge, innovative surgeries these days. What are we seeing? What have you been doing in that regard?
That's correct. We're very proud of our surgery program and the things that we can provide the veterans, and it is a very diverse group of people that have a lot of different problems that do require surgical intervention. And we think we provide as good a service as can be provided anywhere. And we've been very lucky. We have fantastic surgeons and have had the support of leadership to really build a program that offers cutting-edge technology and very high-quality services, anywhere from orthopedics to general surgery to some of the more complex vascular surgery procedures also. But a very wide range of services that we can provide our veterans.
Well, I mean, veterans who aren't injured in, veterans who are injured in service need a whole category of things. But otherwise, you're really talking about the kinds of surgery that any aging population is seeing more of. I mean, joint replacements, right?
Absolutely, yes, that's very true. In fact, on the surgery side, we are really dealing with those problems that develop in any population of patients, not just a specific veteran population. So we see colon cancers and gallbladder disease and hernias and vascular disease very, very commonly, and those are some of the most common things that we intervene in surgically.
Well, you guys have, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be, but you have a very strong vascular and heart surgery program, right?
Vascular, we do, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think we're very happy with our minimally invasive approach to surgery. We have a fantastic orthopedics program that utilizes some of the newer technologies for hip replacements.
So what are those? Tell us.
Sure. The common term for the new hip surgery is called the Jiffy hip. It's a much smaller incision that doesn't go through muscle. Recovery is very, very fast. Those patients are typically in the hospital only 1 day.
Oh my gosh, really?
And pretty much all of our joint replacement patients go home the day after surgery. We have one of the lowest length of stays as far as joint replacements go in the country. And it really is a testimony to what we can provide them, and then the quality of the surgeons too. But we provide that anterior hip replacement that the veterans love, and on some of the other areas, our general surgeons do minimally invasive colon resections, so through little teeny incisions where they go home in just 2 or 3 days. Obviously, gallbladders taken out with the laparoscopic approach, hernias approach this way too. So we are really shrinking the incisions down and making it much less painful, faster recoveries, pretty much across the board in all of our specialties. That
makes a world of difference to a patient. I mean, it also is less costly for the hospital if people aren't staying, but if they're up, if they're moving, if they're able to recover quicker, if they don't need pain meds, for as long, if all those things make a huge quality of life difference.
Right. And certainly our focus has been on that quality of life after surgery, because it can be very uncomfortable for patients to undergo operations. And I think the approaches we're taking with the smaller incisions, the different anesthetic techniques that minimize pain, it's really been a dramatic improvement in some of the things that we used to do.
And that's wonderful. And I know people who've gotten joint replacements, and frankly, they wait until they're in a whole lot of pain before they get to the surgery. So if you're able to help them recover faster, I mean, huge quality of life difference, by the time they have the surgery, much less recover from it.
Yes, certainly joint replacement can be absolutely life-changing for certain patients. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so what are some of the other things you're doing? You're expanding. I mean, there's building, and it's hard. People don't drive past it very often. You're in that gorgeous waterfront setting. Mm-hmm. You have some beautiful older buildings because you've been there for quite a while.
Yes.
But there's growth going on in terms of your treatment buildings and some new centers.
Absolutely. We serve about 50,000 veterans in this area, and with that type of growth, we need growth in staff, but also in space and location. So as you mentioned, there is a lot of growth going on in terms of expanding our buildings, new construction, renovated buildings. We're building a new 25,000 square foot mental health building. Our spinal cord injury building is pretty much doubling in size. Then the surgery suite is one area we're really proud of to keep up with the services that we're able to offer our veterans. And so we are building that out in phases so that there's built-in growth to come in the next year. And I just want to say the work that Dr. Wiebke has been doing has been fantastic with our surgery service, that we now can provide services we hadn't been able to provide in years because of the staff he has brought on, and now the surgical equipment and the suites that we can put in place to allow the surgeons to come in and do the great care that they're doing. So we're really pleased about that.
I would think it helps in a lot of ways. If you're able to provide, more cutting edge medical treatment, surgical treatments, it certainly helps your patients, but it also helps you attract doctors who, want that technology, who want the latest, who want to be able to provide the best care that they can.
Yes, that's very, very true. That sometimes you can't attract particularly the younger surgeons who are just out of training, who expect to provide all of the technology to their patients.
And
thankfully, we're mostly able to do that. We've just moved out of our 1970s era operating rooms into our big brand new operating suite, and it's about halfway completed, so we've got a few rooms yet to build, but we're into 3 big, beautiful, brand new, totally up-to-date rooms, which is just wonderful for everybody. So.
Yeah, that is huge. And a lot of people don't know the modernization and changes that you all are going through. So it's helpful to be able to tell them. But let's talk about why. Both of you have been with Veterans Administration, Veterans Affairs, I forget what it's called now, medical centers for a while. You've spent your careers caring for veterans. Right. Why? I'm going to ask Eric you first.
So I have been taking care of veterans since I was a medical student in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is a very special population of people that have unique needs, but have unique stories. And I just think that they are a wonderful group of people that deserve to have the best possible care that they can get. And sometimes they don't get it, but I think we are committed to providing them with the very best care for whatever they need, whether it's mental health, which a lot of them need, or what we do with standard surgical care. But they are a wonderful group of very deserving individuals that I think need the best possible care that we can provide them. So some of us are very, very committed to doing it and have been doing it for a quarter of a century. I think the two of us are at that mark where we've been taking care of veterans for 25 or just about 25 years.
And both of you have. And you come from a military family, and you were in the military.
Yes, I'm a Navy veteran, and that was really the next step for me, and it just felt right to come from the military into the VA, which I'm proud to be a veteran, and I'm proud to serve veterans. And we want to make the VA care of choice for our veterans, and we know that they have different options. They can choose to go to a number of places, but I think when they come to Hampton, they will find that we have dedicated staff who want to provide them, as Dr. Wiebke said, the service that they deserve because they've earned it, and we're proud to provide it to them.
And it's interesting, you both obviously are doctors, but have different backgrounds. Surgery, mental health, really sort of captures part of the range of services, and the fact that our veterans aren't all, you know, that World War II era anymore. They're much younger. They look a little different maybe than they did before.
I think that the coordination of such a variety of services, if you think of going from surgery to mental health care, really the VA is really an excellent setup for that, because they really are devoted to virtually the entire patient needs as far as the veterans population, and it's fairly seamless for us to go from a mental health visit to the surgical visit with our veterans.
And isn't that interesting, because the rest of us don't necessarily have that continuity of care where doctors talk to each other about how's this person's blood pressure, how's this person's mental health, how, you know, you guys have a team that deals with the patient pretty holistically and across all of us, you know, all of those areas, whereas the rest of us might have to go see a bunch of different people in a bunch of different offices and settings that don't always communicate as well. That is the optimum care, I think.
Yes, and we have in place basically the community medical model, where a veteran is signed to a team of providers who will basically address their needs and also can refer them for specialty care.
Right,
so
that might be outside.
That's correct. And so at Hampton, we do provide a number of comprehensive services that typically starts with primary care. We would like veterans to be enrolled in primary care, to have that primary care provider, a team who will meet their needs, but if they need specialty care, if they need surgery, they can be referred to get those services and then go back to their team who will continue to care for them. So that spectrum will include primary care, mental health, surgery, and any other specialty care needs that they may have.
Well, thank you both for your service and for the work that you and your staffs are doing at the VA Medical Center, because it is an amazing place, doing a great job taking care of a population that we need to take care of because they took care of us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you've learned a lot about what goes on there, and many of you out there are their patients, so you already knew this, but it's good to share with the rest of the community. Thanks for watching.